What's up, world? This is We Need the Fifth. This your man Mo. Got my man Hill in the building.
Yo, checking in.
Got my man P in the building. Fellas. Woo. NBA Finals. I know y'all been watching. We've been in the chat during the games. Series is tied up 2-2. Last time we talked, Indiana was up 1-0. Lots happened since then. Neither of these teams seems to be able to string two wins together at one time. Both of these teams despise losing more than one game at a time. So it's been a truly back and forth series so far. Last night we had Game 4. Oklahoma City was able to pull that out. You can honestly say in the last, 3 minutes of the game, they were finally able to grab the lead and move forward and put the game away. SGA, not too much you can say about him. He's a beast last night. Been pretty consistent all playoffs. Scored 15 points in the fourth quarter. One of only two players in NBA history to do that in the finals. Him and Michael Jordan. Pretty good company. Fellas, what are your thoughts on the series so far? What do you think of last night's game in particular? What do you think either team has to do to get over that hump? Or if you're Indiana, do you stay the course and just say, hey, listen, just don't lose back-to-back games at this point?
Yeah, I think for OKC, last night was telling. I think Shea just has to be more efficient because coming into that game, he's shooting 38%. That's horrible. That's my guy, but he was averaging 30. So you're like, oh, he's averaging 30. He's playing good. Not really, because shooting 38%. If your best player, the player that's taking the most shots, is shooting 38%, the team's probably not going to win too many games.
Yeah.
Last night, he shot, I think he shot 12 for 24, so he shot 50%. So I think Shea's efficiency might be, the key to the rest of the series. Same thing for Indiana. Halliburton and Siakam both shot under 50% last night. They lost. And they don't give the ball to Siakam in the fourth quarter, which is crazy. Which, I think he possibly might be their best player. No disrespect to Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton is definitely the clutch guy you want to go to at the end. But to get a bucket, I think they should, run more plays for Siakam. But
there's a problem, I think, right there is getting a bucket. I mean, you got maybe 4 on the other end who could just get you a bucket. Caruso played huge last night.
Yeah. I was just about to say, what about the others?
And narratives are scary because I saw it coming going into that fourth quarter. OKC loses that game. They're going to harp on the fact that how bad Shea was playing, and Shea gave you no dimes. So I'm glad they won, just to kill that narrative about him just being the scorer and killer he needed to be late in that game. So that's cut out because that would have probably led everything. He needs to share. I just think OKC has always been better. You know what I mean? Even if you'd have told me they were going into the fourth down 12, it seems like Indiana are fighting for that last 12 minutes to be over with as opposed to trying to win the game. They don't have a go-to player towards the end. If you do, he defers a lot. You know what I mean? I prefer Halliburton being aggressive in the game. Not an aggressive scorer, just an aggressive playmaker going towards the hole. A lot of his stuff is – and hats off to both defenses. And that helps probably some of the reason why Shea's playing back. It gives them some credit, too. They're playing aggressive. Refs are letting them play. But OKC drugged it up with Halliburton was turning the ball over terribly last night. You know what I mean? Even they were up. Caruso was popping from behind. Shea was popping from behind. Mid-air decisions that they were making. Costly turnovers. Control the ball. Attack the hole. Kick it out. Make plays. Whatever the results are, that's fine. I mean, they're Indiana. That's how I see them playing. So I don't see a Jordan on that team. So just get it to the open shooter. If y'all lose that way, that's what got y'all here. But I don't like all the activity outside of the 3-point line. They're getting pushed further and further back. Even with that being said, I feel like OKC is always poised to win the game because they have better players.
How big of a effect do you think the coach going back to that big lineup where Hartenstein and Chet played a part?
Listen, outside of Chet having a flurry in the third quarter, I saw him having a bad game too. Like, I don't even think it matters. I think right now you're having J-Dub stepping up on both ends.
Yeah.
Is that Pippen factor to the Jordan, which is always going to be consistent. Yeah, Shea is having bad games, but they're bad
relative to what he's to the standard he set.
It's the efficiency, right? I get it, but it's not like he's taking bad shots. Like, he's missing his shots.
Yeah, they're playing excellent. The best defense I've seen played on him this year. You know, they're being physical. They're making sure that, hey, he's seeing multiple hands, multiple people. They're throwing multiple people at him. And I think, hey, you couldn't ask for more as far as a defensive effort against SGA and what he brings to the table.
He is 100, though. I mean, to me, he's an EA 100, and to me, it's still underrating him. Watching him, he gets better and better, and he puts me in awe each game I watch. Shea, like, it's done now. To me, he's the best player in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was waiting for the 2 more wins.
Yeah,
okay.
That was on my mind all season. But yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's probably best we do that. But even
I'm with you.
He's unguardable.
Yeah. And just to go, back to Caruso real quick. So, and the efficiency, I think it's like 7 for 9, 20 points. Like, that's
5 steals,
clutch rebounds.
Right. And Chet, I disagree. I think he had a good game. Offensively, he had a mediocre game, but I think his rebound and his defense, like off the switches where he switched off to Halliburton, like I think maybe 2 or 3 times in a row, he made Halliburton shoot over him. He contested the jumper, and I think he's 0 for, he was 0 for 3. So I think Holmgren's defense was really it's the best asset he brought to the team last
But each time Hallie attacked, he got fouls. He caught Chet off a switch when he come off the top and he drives hard. Yeah. He's just too tall and long, so you should go into him and get that and bump and get the foul. You need him out.
And that was crazy. Like, he bumped Chet almost fell over. It was crazy. But Halliburton's just not that type of player in my eyes. Because I believe that's his first. That's the first time he went to the line the whole series.
Crazy.
So and it's not like they're not calling foul. He's not going to the hoop. If he does, it's like a little fade, flip shot.
I don't want contact. Get the contact.
He doesn't really seek contact. I thought it was weird that he sought out contact against Chet, but he's like 7 foot 190. So, do
you think that Halliburton needs to start driving with the purpose of scoring? Like, hey, looking to attack the rim a little bit more.
He tries with the purpose of scoring. He just doesn't want the contact. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going for the and one.
Okay.
He just wants to lay up. And I just don't think he's
built
that type of. And that's why I was never like a big Tyrese Halliburton fan. Because I felt if you play defense on him, like tight defense, and get physical with him,
he's not
what you get. Yeah.
You know, where to your point, where like SGA, J-Dub, you say they playing physical defense on him, they're making it tougher, but they're still
going
to the hole. You know what I mean? So I think I kind of expected this from Halliburton, where, like you said, you muck up the game, you play physical with him, the refs let you put hands on him. He's I mean, no one is as effective, but I think his play really drops because he's not a physical offensive player, if you know what I mean.
Now let me, because we talked about this off the air, and but you guys just mentioned that, hey, barring SGA winning this, he's your favorite for best player in the league. And we talked about SGA with his offense, that the league may have to look at him pushing off when he drives to the basket. Does that change? If the league says that is an issue,
he'll adjust. I look at SGA like a gym rat, like rest in peace, late great Kobe, Jordan, Kyrie, Garnett. Like, I think this is how you judging it now. Okay, I'm gonna go in the summer and I'm gonna work on my. You know what I mean? Like I just think he'll adjust. Like he's really good at basketball. So whatever the rules, even like almost like a James Harden too. Okay, you're not gonna allow me to do this and that. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go back to the lab.
Too many tools in the shed. He's just overly talented.
That helps him, but that's not the reason he's the MVP. You know what I mean? Like, so I think he'll be okay.
Okay. Do you guys still feel confident with your picks for the series?
Well, not mine.
Yeah. We're done with that.
I'll go with OKC in 6. Like I think they finish it out in Indiana.
Yeah, I believe I had them in 6, so I'm comfortable.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about New York Knicks a little bit. New York Knicks have been trying to find a new coach. They've put out requests to a couple of teams for current head coaches. Jason Kidd, Finch, Snyder,
Donovan?
Udoka. I believe all teams told them, no, thank you. You can't talk to our coaches. So the coaching search for New York continues.
Is he only open coaching spot? Yeah, right. He's the only one.
That's crazy. No way. No one else got fired but Tibbs?
A couple did, but they
already filled them
their
up.
own son and
Wow. Oh yeah, the Phoenix Suns, right? Yeah.
Denver.
Denver. They gave him they moved the interim.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I mean the majority of people you named, I don't think they're better coached than Tibbs. You could make the argument for Ume Udoka. You could make the argument for Jason Kidd. Besides that, you're downgraded.
What type of coach, or what coach, if any, would y'all like to see New York pursue that's available out there?
How they got rid of Tibbs?
Say my bag and rehire Tibbs. I think he's.
Yeah, it's nothing I would like. I could see them doing something like a Jay Wright. That's not what I like.
What about Mark Jackson?
What about him?
He's a good coach. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. He has New York ties.
It would be nice.
He's a good coach. Is he better than Tibbs? I don't know.
You guys, of course, talking about going back to Tibbs, but that's not realistic.
Right.
But what about going back to another old
firing
coach?
Tibbs wasn't realistic.
It happened, so
right. So if they rehire him, say it happened.
What about going back to another old coach, one of the Van Gundy brothers?
No. Again, you're downgraded. I think Tibbs is better than both of them. I mean, I'll just recuse myself. Knicks, I don't really care. They're dumb.
No. I mean, if anything, I would see is probably Jay Wright. Mark Jackson would be nice for warm feelings. They're not going to give it to Pat.
Yeah, I don't think Pat's.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Because I mean, from his one coaching stint, that's what I'm going off of. In Georgetown, dude wasn't that.
I'm not too miss me with the coaching shit. I don't really care. Seriously, no bullshit. I don't. If you told me Jay Wright, Shire, Pat Ewing, Mark Jackson, I can care less. They all do the X's and O's. They're smart enough to do it. They've been through the coaching tree. They've been assistants for a long time. It's not like they don't know how to coach.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't matter. I don't think they lost because of coaching. I know I'm in a minority, I guess, but I don't think that was the difference.
What's the guy in is he on the Lakers now? He's a coach for Seattle and then Atlanta. Was he a hot coach at one point in time?
And he's on Indiana, I think, right now, right?
Is it?
Oh, jeez. I know you're talking about.
Well, him. You know what I'm saying? So coaching does have not that much bearing on me. It doesn't.
Okay. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. who you follow, who you supporting in the finals. Who do you think New York Knicks should grab for their next coaching gig? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Going into, this will be in the off-season free agency. A lot of talk about KD. He's sitting down with the Phoenix brass to come up with a trade scenario that works for everybody. He's named the 5 teams that he's interested in. Those teams would be Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, or New York. Let's talk about which team do we think would be the best fit? And what I mean by best fit is, hey, which team would give KD another opportunity to secure another championship? Because at this point, that's what he's talking about in his career, or at least contending for a championship again.
Yeah, I would say Spurs than Wolves. Although, obviously, the Wolves are a little bit far ahead. But, being a Wemby guy, I think Spurs would be his best chance to actually win a chip. And then the Wolves. The rest of the teams, I don't think it would. I think it'll be Phoenix remixed.
Wow. I agree with both of those. But, tread lightly. We get into the point where who cares? You know what I'm saying? Wherever he falls is his championship. He has championship DNA. He went to a championship team. Probably that's the reason why. Mm-hmm. Ever since Golden State, it's any team in the league.
Right. And I'm curious, like Phoenix, I'm all with the players, whatever. I'm Phoenix. I'm shipping you where it's best for me. I don't care where you want to go. I didn't draft you. I don't have you haven't been here for 10 years and won me a chance. There's no loyalty. There's no. I don't think you have equity like that. If I was Phoenix, I'll trade you to wherever, as long as it's good for me.
I think from Phoenix's perspective, they still want to be that destination for players. Like, hey, that superstar players want to go to, or want to be always in that list of teams that could be a likely destination. And I think they work with a KD now just to keep that reputation as a player-friendly destination.
I don't think they ever been that.
Whatchamacallit? Steve Nash, Charles Barkley.
No, they traded for them, though. Those weren't like free agents. You ain't have no choice. I traded for you. You're coming to play for us. I understand what you're saying. You want your franchise to look welcome to free agents. I get that, but to me, you never be LA, Miami, New York.
But even by definition of that only makes it, appeasable because it's a good franchise just in case you have an exit strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make it easier for people to leave. Right. Like, they're going to Phoenix. Phoenix is a good place because if you want to leave, they might accommodate you. It's not like it's a good atmosphere in Phoenix. I think everything is good anywhere. But a lot of people feel that I need a good team in which I have a 5-year, 3-year, 5-year extra strategy. They might make it easier for me, and then people have that representation. But they're going to leave. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a good place to play.
I don't, and I'm not trying to say that that's the only reason why it's a.
No, but I'm saying, but we were just discussing that reason because it's saying, wouldn't it make it, more attractive for players to come, knowing that how they dealt with him leaving? That, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, so I want to go to Phoenix because if things don't work out for me, they'll appease me. I don't even know if you want to be in that type of business doing it that way. You know what I mean? Because it is a business. I say Phoenix is a great place to play. You want to come here, you play. You know what I mean? Like, that whole soft packages for people going out, pause. I don't know. He shouldn't have left Golden State. There's nothing more to see than that. You would have had whatever championship amount of it. You have a problem with people, how they saw you. Okay, I thought the move was Golden State, and then at the end of his career, finishing up at Oklahoma City and saying goodbye. All this other stuff is. I'm forgetting all these other Brooklyn, now Phoenix. Like, you forget these stops.
Yeah. It's getting. Is this affecting his legacy?
I don't think so. I don't think in a bad way. It depends on how you thought of it.
Where do you put him in NBA history right now?
All-time great.
Yeah, I would say he's a top 20, top 25 player.
Absolutely.
All time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
To ever play basketball is a hell of a statement.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And I don't think anything could tarnish that.
Nah.
Not at this point. I don't think anything could tarnish that.
KD is dumb nice. You know what I'm saying? Like he's great. It's I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got staff and all, they always going to view me a certain way, so I leave. But you're big enough. So what? To me, like, so what?
Let me ask you this. You guys said both Minnesota and San Antonio, you think those are his best options. Mm-hmm. Why don't you think New York should overreach on this and go for it? Or do you think it would be an overreach if New York went to pursue Kevin Durant? And mind you, in order to get Kevin Durant, New York would either have to do a straight-up swap him and Cat or a package of OG, Bridges, and possibly Hart for Kevin Durant. So it would be one of those two packages.
Either way, they'll get much worse in defense. And not that KD's a bad defender. He's 30, 36, 30. He
37?
He's not supposed to be good on defense.
But let me ask you this. People play the advocate and say, hey, Cat wasn't, solid on defense.
That's what I'm saying. If you have KD, Cat, and Brunson, you're not going to be a good defensive
losing
team.
Bridges and OG are two
so
defenders. And Hart to an extent, on-ball defender. I mean.
But would you be willing to give up OG, Bridges, and Hart for KD with the thought that maybe bringing Mitch Rob back into the, starting lineup, allowing Cat to play the 4, just having a really big front line with KD at the 3,
I know he's a fan favorite. He's a good player. I don't think Mitch Robinson's a starter.
Right.
Because he's an offensive liability, I don't see how you could play 4 and 5, have him out there 30 minutes a game.
That's
because you do it if you got Brunson, KD, and Cat. You know what I mean?
That's a good starting lineup.
When they got the ball, I cringe when he's out there. Like he's
because the reason why I'm pushing it so hard, Pete, it's like, hey, one of the things that Mitch Rob does give the Knicks is offensive rebounds.
No, absolutely.
And with the thought that, hey, you don't run any plays for him. You have those 3 guys out there, and you're like, hey, Mitch Rob, clean up the boards and get it back to them. That's your job, and play defense. You know what I mean? I think, hey, he could do that serviceably for you.
Absolutely, but I think his lack of offense hurts you so much that it don't. I won't say it negates his defense. And what his strengths are his strengths, and he's very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But playing 4 and 5 is just rough.
Is he better than Josh Pachulia?
See, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's how bad he is on the offense to me. I don't know.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's how bad he is on the offense. And it's,
Well, he is.
He's better than JaVale McGee?
No.
Talking about starters. You know what I'm saying? At one point started.
No.
I mean, we talking about Curry and all these other guys too. Is he better than Bogey?
No.
So
because
so he can start.
No. What I'm saying, I think these guys are better than him.
Oh, then
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So he might not be able to start.
Yeah, I just don't think he's a starter. I don't know. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I think you want what he does. You want that coming off the bench.
Okay.
For limited time, 30.
Who is Phoenix center? Who is Phoenix center?
Richards.
Okay.
Is it?
And I think he's solid. He can block some shots, get you.
No, it's
8 points. So remember they traded what's what's the dude that was on Portland?
Yeah,
Draymond snapped up.
That's what I thought it was.
Jokic.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I think Mitch is Hartenstein with less offense.
Wow.
No, because I think you could play. Hartenstein doesn't hurt you offensively like Mitch does. He's not. And Hartenstein's not a great offensive player, but he couldn't score if you give him the ball or he gets an offensive rebound. Mitch is rough.
Now I'm surprised that you guys didn't say Houston as a possible best fit, considering that they have multiple draft picks that they can include in the deal that would kind of mitigate them from having to include a whole bunch of their young talent, specifically Amen and Sengun, I'm thinking.
Why do it? Because they have it already. Like, to me, KD to Houston would be like T2. You know what I mean? Like, just someone who would just morph right into being Houston talent. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's going to be there to guide them and he's disrespectful. I think he's one of them now.
Yeah. I think I'm looking at Houston like I look maybe OKC a year or two ago. Just keep it in the oven, let it keep cooking. Like I don't think you need to add anything right now. In another year or two, they might have one or two plays better than KD. I mean, 2 years from now, not now.
But considering how Houston performed in the playoffs, because I think at certain points they got exposed for not having enough playmakers or enough guys that can create their own shots or develop their own offense. And Jalen Green was inconsistent. He that's the best way I could put it. He was too inconsistent. You're saying, hey, stay pat, count on the fact that, hey, you expect Jalen Green to make another jump?
No, I don't. I think Twin is going to make the jump. I think Twin is going to be better than Jalen Green.
Okay.
I think he might end up being the best player on that team.
Definitely.
So I think if you have him and Sengun, then you have there go your playmakers.
But Booker is better than Twin and and Green. They didn't make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So you're touching a team who went to the playoffs to a person who has a better talented person next to him and didn't make it.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be so much about KD. You know what I'm saying?
I think here what you alluded to is something to be said about Durant's impact on winning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's going to put up numbers where he's going to give you 25 next year. That's what he does.
I think what a team like Phoenix shows is that that's not enough in the sense that because there was nothing else around him, Booker, and Beal.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you get KD. He strips teams, and that's what's going to happen when he goes to another team. You have to take away. If you're at it, the free agency thing with Golden State was so perfect that you didn't have to lose anyone except Barnes. You know what I'm saying? There was a spot for him, and it was a Swiss Army knife to a ready championship-made team. If he's adding to Houston, yes. If he's adding to Minnesota, yeah. If you're going to have to take away a Randall, you have to take away a Nas Reed, yes, it's a championship team. He's that extra plus. But he's going to strip your squad.
And I'm not so, I know Phoenix wasn't the most talented team, but I'm not so sure Golden State was any better than Phoenix, talent-wise. And they've won more games. So, I put that on KD. You got Booker.
I think, to be fair, the Golden State's role players are a lot better than Phoenix.
I disagree. I don't think they have talent at Golden State. Besides, Butler, Curry, and Green, I think they're borderline NBA players.
You mean back then?
I'm talking about back.
I'm talking about Golden State now.
Oh no, you mean Golden State?
I'm talking about Golden State back then. Yeah,
back then. But we're talking about this season.
With them. And I think he was thinking the problem with. The benefit of Golden State was that they had a better bench. They just had a better team than Phoenix in general. They was a championship team that he joined.
Oh, Golden State, that's not even close. You're not going to get that.
Never.
He would have to go to OKC or Indiana.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a ready-made championship team.
Yeah.
Oh that's
Or Boston.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and even then, you're not going to have Tatum this year. So.
Would you do a Jaylen Brown for KD?
I wouldn't.
Because there have been talks about Boston possibly trading Jaylen Brown?
He's 37. Like,
Yeah, because of the age.
Yes.
Because I feel you have probably like a 5-year window with Jaylen Brown and Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Durant, if you got to win it like next year. You don't know what's going to happen.
And he's going to need a 3-year contract from someone.
Yeah, at some point, you're going to
get your money. But, oh, my gosh.
You don't think he can still be an effective player at 40?
Probably.
He's an effective player now, but you see what that gets Phoenix.
I mean, you think LeBron's an effective player now?
Hmm?
Yeah.
41. I'm saying he's giving you that right now. He's giving you 26 points a game at 41.
Yeah, I look at KD as a piece. I don't think he really changes your franchise because he didn't do it for Phoenix. I know you say because of the talent, but like you say anywhere he goes, you're going to have to give up some of that talent. So most likely it's going to be Phoenix all over again.
But I think the two teams that you guys said were the best fits for him, they could be those type of teams.
Yeah, because Minnesota's like pretty much almost there already.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Golden State from back in the day, but it's close, right? Because you said they can't get rid of Nas Reed, you can't get rid of Randall. So you got Ant, so you're gonna have some talent there. So that's why I think that'll be a squad. And of course, San Antonio, you got Wemby and Fox, and you got youth. Yeah, and I like that move because unlike some of the other teams, like if it doesn't work, you still have Wemby and Fox. So you're not really mortgaging your future. So.
If you're San Antonio in that situation, do you try to re-sign Chris Paul or try to get him come back?
No need.
Just to bolster your bench and have extra bodies that have,
I need bigs. I don't even need point guards at this point. I got Castle. I got Fox. I probably could get Dylan Harper. I don't need Chris Paul. I mean, I understand like the leadership and all that stuff, but yeah, I'm good on that. I need some height. I need some people that bang down low so Wemby doesn't have to get worn down. You know what I mean? So
that's if you're getting Durant or just re-signing Chris Paul in general.
No, just if you're getting Durant.
Oh no, Durant, I get a cat off the street. Yeah. I can't my bench. No,
they had him last year. So.
No, thank you.
Okay, what you call it? Hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Where do you think KD should end up? Where would you like to see KD end up? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. You can also hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Kind of want to talk about it, but
Mo.
What are your thoughts on Angel Reese and her recent BET Awards Athlete of the Year?
Do we have a list of the nominees? Besides her,
looking right now.
Hill looks it up. She shot 31%. She's shooting 31% from the field. That is rough. I don't care if it's elite overtime, G League, WNBA, NBA, college basketball. That's rough. Yeah. 31% from the field. I thought people were joking when they said that.
Yeah, and what you call it, shot similar numbers last year, but was able to lead the WNBA in double-doubles.
Well, if you miss 70% of the time, you should be able to get some offensive rebounds. I think she's a good player. Like overall, I think she's a good player, but she is not efficient to say the least.
She better than Dawn Staley? She was on there, nominated.
National champion,
Asia Wilson, Sha'Carri Richardson, Simone Biles, Flau'jae, Clarissa Shields, Coco Gauff, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins. I think all of them before her.
And that would be fair.
Dawn Staley.
But I think whatchamacallit, for the time period that they're looking at.
Dawn Staley?
2024.
Dawn Staley?
2024.
Dawn Staley?
They all won.
Yeah, Dawn Staley? Asia? Clarissa? Like,
The crazy thing, Juju's the only one that won, and I think she's right in the mix still. Like, as far as awards. What can you do?
we didn't make it. We didn't make the list like we don't usually do, and like we usually disagree with. I think we have more stringent parameters to what we feel. I'm usually skewed, as people would say, more to the extreme. I don't even know how she made the list, put it that way.
All right. These are some of the awards that she piled up during the consideration time, which is, I think, 2024 to 2025. WNBA All-Rookie Team, WNBA All-Star, WNBA Rebounding Leader, Unrivaled Defensive Player of the Year, Unrivaled Second Team All Unrivaled, Unrivaled Champion, First Team All American, SEC Player of the Year, First Team All SEC. Yeah.
All I heard that was first team SEC.
All I heard is All American. Because SEC is just one conference. Big deal. Yeah.
Just putting it out there, like, hey, it's not just based off of her 31%. You know what I mean?
So Caitlin Clark wouldn't be eligible?
Yeah.
I mean, because, I know it's BET, but it's owned by white people. It's Viacom.
Right.
So,
They're still trying to hold somebody.
I guess.
They're just still trying to cast the illusion.
Right. That would get in the way of the facade that it's actually a black owned. Okay. Shout out to Bob Johnson.
Good sell.
Yeah. Smart. True businessman. Should be sinking.
But one of the things that this is one of the reasons why I say this is, I think this is just be a start of the conversation. I do want you guys to kind of check out how the Chicago Sky are using her. I think they're using her all wrong. I think they're putting her in positions where she can't be successful, especially on the offensive end. I think they're putting too much on her plate offensively, especially considering, hey, her field goal percentage. That ain't something that just started happening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's happened last year when she was a rookie. You know what I mean? Jeez. So it's like, hey, that's always been an issue. So why? Because I'm seeing Chicago Sky put her in situations where she's in pick and roll situations, and they have her flaring out to the corner three instead of diving to the rim. So it's like, why are you putting her in positions in open space when hey, ball handling is an issue for her. Making shots, making layups has been a work for her. She hasn't done it well.
If she has a problem shooting and she has a problem with layups and up close, how does she score?
She eventually makes them. She makes
that's the whole pattern with the rebounds and the double.
You have a point. I mean, but one of the things I will say is, hey, we can also classify it as Pat statting for her, but also it shows, hey, her energy, the fact that, hey, she is going up and getting those rebounds. She is following up. So I'm giving her that positive. Now, how do you work with that as a coach? How do you develop that? I think, and we talked about this off air, I think Kim Mulkey showed you the way. Like, hey, Kim Mulkey at LSU, they weren't running plays for Angel Reese. But, hey, she encouraged her, rebound, defend, and your shot will come. You'll get opportunities to score. But we're not going to draw up plays where we have you flaring out to the three-point corner and expect you to do something with that.
Yeah, but
You know.
Kim Mulkey's approach was for college. Like Byron Houston's college coach had approaches for him, but he dominated with 28 points a game. They're better.
And that's what I was going to ask. Do you think it's just the level of competition?
Absolutely.
Like she's what, 6'4", you want to say?
Yeah.
Maybe half her games, she was the tallest person on the court, where now they probably have every WNBA team has 6'4".
Yeah, I definitely
so the
think
level of competition stepping up might have.
I definitely think that has a factor to do with it. I think, hey, with college, she just got away with utilizing her athleticism and her energy and her battery,
motive,
what you will call it. But what I think WNBA coaches haven't taken advantage of that, or haven't tried
to.
She
has a great motive because she's a double fanatic right now. I think she's always had her motive. She's just not as good as she was. I think she's the same player, but the talent is just way better. And the WNBA's, oh my God, they're
all Americans. They're all Americans too, basically. Yeah. She's going against an All American every night.
So, and they got smoked again by 18 last night too.
Yeah, and like I said, to you guys before, off air, I think I'm at this point. I'm convinced Chicago Sky's Juju Watkins hunting right now, or Flo J. Johnson hunting right now. They're playing their offensive sets that they're playing doesn't make sense for the personnel that they have. Oftentimes they're playing a 5-out or 4-out in one end offense, and you don't have that many shooters on your squad or your roster. You really don't. And their best shooter is inconsistent at best.
I mean, they might not just. I don't know if it's gameplay or style. Like I think they're still gonna lose. So I don't think they're that good. You know what I mean, and I think Angel is good for who she is. Not. I think she should be notable for what she does, and that's having a good motor and being a strong, feisty player. I think she's a part to a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
The way she's being portrayed is a whole and a star, and I think that's not fair to her. Yeah. I think her personality and outside of it is great. I think she should get as much millions of money as she can get. She's that much of a social person. But for her craft, I think she is who she is. We, and not me, make her something more than she actually is.
I think the WNBA should be attempting to craft her into like a Draymond Green type of player at her ceiling. You know what I mean? Where,
but I don't think that's
she could be an all-arounder. You know what I mean? Give you a little bit of everything. But, hey, she's not a master of all, you know what I mean, any particular skill set.
But I think they do craft it that way. Now, it depends on how you see Draymond and how other people see Draymond. People see her as – people compare her to Draymond. People feel like she's an antagonist. And she's, she can play the game if she keeps her head on straight and everything. So to me, I was like, I don't see that. I think Draymond's a better player. I think from his skill set, from a men's standpoint, I don't want to put it. I'm trying to think who she is to me from a basketball standpoint for men, and it's
Rudy.
Almost, yeah, almost. It's just awkward baby giraffe, like coordination. It just doesn't look fluid when she's playing. You know what I mean? Everything's out of whack. It's always off balance, falling.
And I think Chicago doesn't do her any favors with how they're using her.
Again, you're putting on Chicago. I get it, but falling down is a you thing. Like I'm saying, like you being not coordinated is something that you learn as a young person how to make moves around, and then you grow into it. I think Asia should be celebrated for what she does. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, she's a good player or a good cog. whatever.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
attention that's put on her, I think they did a disservice by making her sportswoman of the year. Because now you're expecting so much. If you're telling me like sports personality, or what she does outside of it, I'm like, yeah, she's killing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not thinking of her on some like Paige gave me 35 last night in the loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see her like doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Minnesota. I mean, you got ballers. You got people who actually
Fisa,
ball on
yeah.
it.
Fisa calling.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you have talented people where you're saying like,
Yeah.
like if you'd have told me if this was Magic, Sportsman of the Year, Magic Johnson, but everybody feeling like, yo, Jordan's the best player in the game, I can say like, yo, it's Magic. I can you make it where you're giving me a decision, which you had like, it was between. To me, the safe pick to me would have been Dawn Staley.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Undefeated season, championship, all that, and then you lose and you go back. Her record is crazy. But if you want to say her, you want to say
Simone Biles.
you want to say Coco Gauff, I mean, whatever you want to say, like it's still within that parameter. Like she just threw it off whack. Like why? It just seems like she's getting a lot of flack from people who are just morons about her and the Caitlin Clark situation.
Yeah, definitely.
They had a situation. They deal with it. Even if it's bird magic where they don't like each other, but they end up liking each other later. I'm cool with that, with them having it.
And I think that's that whole situation, especially with them in college, that is basketball. That's what hoopers do.
Yeah,
you know
but
I
I
mean?
said
On
you got
both
idiots
sides.
who blow it out. And anything is, well, again, we're a nationally polarized country. It fits into it. It's just as bad as one side is with the vitriol and the bigotry they have the Angel. The placating is bad too with Angel Reese. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it should just be like, we support Angel. It's basketball. Make it common sense arguments as opposed to doing this with the award. To me, you lessen the award.
Yeah, I think some of it's like media outlets talking about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and some of it's probably WNBA also, where if you're, and I know you're a big, obviously anyone watch the show, you're the biggest
shout out to
advocate
Mo,
of the
absolutely.
WNBA, promoting it, pushing the game forward. I think, and it's probably good intentions, but they're trying to sell me Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You should be trying to sell me Aja Wilson, Breonna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, Sabrina Nescu, Nafisa Collier. That's who you should be selling me, because as a basketball fan, I want to see the best basketball players.
Yeah.
Don't sell me narratives. Sell me the game, which is a good quality game. You know what I mean? Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese may get there, but they're not there yet. That would be almost like trying to sell me Wemby versus Chet right now. And that's it. Don't worry about Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tate. Don't worry about that. Hey, everyone, look at Wemby and Chet. You're not there yet. You know what I mean? So, but that bridges off to another topic. Though.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, I think for that narrative, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky are so far behind what Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever are as far as being contender. Is just like, it doesn't even make sense. The narrative doesn't even make sense at this point. You know, yeah.
Yeah, I don't pretend to, watch a whole bunch of Chicago Sky games, but Aja Wilson was out yesterday, and they still, Vegas is a good team, obviously, without her. They're a juggernaut with her, but they still lost.
Yeah.
So in my mind, they can't beat the Aces. Impossible. And can't be doing it without Aja Wilson.
Right, you don't feel like, they need to fix. To me, I don't feel like they need to fix Chicago. I don't even. You don't feel like you need to bring her out and put her into a better position for me with Angel. You know what I'm saying? With Dallas, with Paige, I'm like, Paige gonna have to get out of here soon. You know what I'm saying? But she transcended from high school Paige, college Paige.
No difference.
None. To her now, the girl could just ball. Where you're saying like, yo, Paige is nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to put up something like, if she goes, she to win something, and it's like with Caitlin Clark and then Paige win the championship this year, I'd be like, yo, nah, you're bugging.
Yeah. And
Paige should be the sportswoman of the year, and I don't care what Caitlin is doing, how much people love her. It should be Paige Beckers. Like, she doesn't have that.
But, and I think we'll agree. We think Angel Reese is a good player. You know what I mean?
Solid role player.
Yeah, like Yeah, like I think any team in the WNBA would want her.
Yeah.
Because she could help your team win games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just don't think she is. I don't know. Put it this way, I don't think she could be a best player. I think it's limited how far you could go. Her being your best player.
She's like John Sally to me. Whatever. But he was instrumental in Detroit.
Yeah.
I was never John Sally.
Young,
I think she's way better than John Sally.
I get what you're saying, though.
Young John Sally.
And honestly, that's better than what I have. Right? I had Dennis Rodman.
I'm spelling Sally though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she's Rodman, but I got her as
I have her way better than John Sally. Wait,
you have to.
I borderline didn't think John Sally was good at basketball.
But the stuff I'm seeing is just not good. And to be fair, it's not. I'm not putting that much
expectation on her.
Not even that. I'm being fair to her. I'm not putting that much eyes on her games. I'm watching clips and I'm watching moments. So now I'll go to YouTube and I end up watching maybe 7-minute thing on it. And I know it's cut up, but it's like, what's going on here? And they're losing bad.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm convinced they're in the Juju Watkins sweepstakes right now. And they're trying for it. It's a concerted effort.
Don't expect Juju to fall off.
Oh no, whatchamacallit? I think they're trying to get her, and whatchamacallit? They'll actually be able to run the offense that they're running, because y'all actually have shooters. And you knock on wood. Hope Vandersloot comes back healthy. Hope Van Lift has get streaky again, and
she's not having a bad year though. She's playing all right.
No, I mean, but I think Van Lift is playing out of position. I think, hey, whatchamacallit? Anytime you got her at the point guard right now, especially in the WNBA, I don't think she's built for that. I think she needs to be one of those players that, hey, you could just say, you know what? When you get the ball, look for your shot. She needs to be that type of player. You know what I mean? Like, hey, move without the ball, and let Vandersloot set you up for the corner three or something like that. But I think she'll be in a lot better position once they get Vandersloot back healthy and get Juju Watkins. You got two women that can set her up lovely, and set Cardoza and set the table for Cardoza and Angel Reese. And hey, now that I think about it, maybe it's not a bad plan for them to play the way they play right now.
Right, they're idiots until they're geniuses.
That's anybody who gets anybody who gets shooter. But I'm saying, but even now, you don't have a quintessential point guard for most of the teams in the WNBA or the NBA. It's pretty much who gets it up the court, and she should be finding her way around and often trying to find a shot. It's not like she's a John Stockton. She still has the opportunities to shoot. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's just positioned by what you are on paper, and then once y'all start playing, I don't think people are actually point guards. Definitely a point. You know
I just think the way the WNBA defends and especially the way the Chicago Sky's been defended, where teams are pressing up on them. You know what I mean? And making it hard for them to break it down and whatnot. And I think that's her handles probably one of the weaker aspects of her game.
But you don't bring it. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, they must have. It's egregious in them. They don't have a coach where they can break plays the way you're saying. Let's pass the ball up the court. You don't need to dribble the ball. To me, it's asinine to be dribbling the ball up the court anyway now. Yeah. And any type of thing, the ball should be maybe 2 dribbles and passed up and get the ball ahead of the line. Like, I don't care how much you're playing or pressing. Mm-hmm. You break a press not with dribble, with passing. So I don't want somebody dribbling out of it anyway. So I mean,
like I said, Juju Watkins sweepstakes. I think they're shooting for it. Like I said, I just. Yeah.
Congratulations, though. I mean, it's BT. I mean,
I mean, that's congratulations for her to win the BT Awards.
Who's sports male?
Who?
Who was sports man?
Oh, don't start me the lie. I think that the big uproar was because Reese won it. You know, especially with the women that she was competing against. Hey, a lot of people had a problem with that.
Which is, I don't know. Okay.
All right, fellas. What's on the radar, man?
Game 5. Game 5. What's that? Monday, I think.
Yeah, Monday.
At all. 2 more wins.
Yeah, what's on the radar for you?
Both. It's gonna be the NFL draft and NBA draft. I want to see some trades being made.
Or NFL.
Not NFL, but NBA trades.
NBA draft.
NBA draft and their trades and NFL
Trades.
What do you call it?
Free agents.
Free agency.
Right.
Draft's ready then, right? My man should do it. Playing well.
What's on my radar?
Thinking of my draft and whatnot.
NBA Finals. I'm real interested to see what happens with KD, where he goes. I think depending on what coach he could be a game changer, or what team I should say. Also, might check out the movie The Amateur. I saw that coming out on streaming. So
Apple TV and Amazon too.
Mm-hmm. So
Jalen Hurts won.
Okay.
He went against Saquon Barkley, LeBron James, Steph Curry.
Yeah. So BT apparently doesn't really.
Tatum, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like he won a championship.
championship.
Judge, okay, went to the World Series. Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, they just.
Olympics
I think they just looked at Instagram followers.
for any of the basketball guys.
Deion Sanders, Sportsman of the Year. Like Anthony Edwards.
Oh, his impact with Colorado, Deion.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
Anthony
now,
Edwards?
Anthony
Edwards.
Western Conference Final.
No, Anthony Edwards, Stephen Curry, LeBron James should be on the list.
God.
You got to find some black tennis players or black golfers.
Congratulations, Jalen Hurts.
It all makes sense now. Once you rate me the male one, it all makes sense. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, no.
It all makes sense. They just don't know what they're doing. If you just told me Jalen Hurts and stopped, I'd be like, okay. But now you read up the rest of the list, they don't know what they're doing. But congratulations to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
well
definitely.
deserved. Well deserved to Jalen Hurts. And congratulations.
And on that note.
Coach Prime, get well.
Yes, definitely. And rest in peace to Sly from the Family Stone. R&B funk pioneer. Passed away last week.
And 11A, if you know, you know. Rest in peace, Air India.
Yeah. All right, to our fifths. Safe
Peace.
and peace.